heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Welcome back to the community parliament. And we have our specialist with us finally. It's a pleasure to finally have you here with us.
It's good morning to all listeners at home, and welcome to the biggest microphone in the land, Oxygen 96.9 FM.
I love that.
This guy gets it.
Actually,
no, he clocks it.
Yeah, he clocks it. So this is actually acting Gen Z right now.
Yes, now when I'm surrounded by a whole lot of Gen Zs, what am I supposed to do?
Okay,
do
I love that for you.
No, you can't leave me behind.
You're keeping up.
Yeah, let me keep up, please, so that you don't just drop me an FTK behind.
Actually.
All right, yeah, we're going to start with this story that's from Ogun State, Florida. You have that story?
Yeah. From Ogun State.
Yes.
Actually, I have the Ogun.
Which one?
I have the
one I
Ogun
have
State story about waste management.
Yes,
Yes.
waste management. Okay.
All right.
Yes. So this is quite an interesting one. So 14 offenders of waste management, people who are throwing their waste inappropriately, indiscriminately, were actually arrested, and an Ogun State Magistrate Court sitting in Isabo, Abeokuta, yesterday sentenced 14 of these offenders to 2 weeks. That's 14 days imprisonment. Of course, they were given the option of paying bail of 10,000 for each of those days. That's 140,000 for those who can afford to actually pay the bill. But I think that this is such an important development, something that I hope would also, be
that we
imbibed.
can replicate here in Ibadan.
Yes, because waste disposal is like it stinks up everywhere. It causes flooding.
When it rains, come and see this road here.
Just
I don't know about you, Shegun.
I think few weeks back, the government of your state under His Excellency Governor Sheyi Makinde actually said they cancelled the weekly environmental sanitation, and it has now become something that will be happening daily. Doing all these things is actually not the problem. You see, one thing about governance and sorting the masses, you don't just wake up one day and Yoruba man need to Sophie. You want to come up with something like this, there should be some kind of what are the things you've made available, like the waste bin. A few days ago I was passing through Bodija and that Bodija market, and we know the kind of thing that are said there, foodstuffs, and how important it has to be hygienic over there.
Yes.
And I was seeing waste that was spilling all around everywhere. There is no provisions for this waste bin that they always provide there, and the ones that are there are full already. You see, arresting people, she will always say something. In everything that we believe that is not useful today, if you could search deeper, there always its usefulness. Waste today, globally, they've turned waste to money.
Definitely.
You see, the issue is the government, they are not looking at deeper. Maybe we have the clueless and people ruling over us. So they should be able to look at the deeper sense of what are these things, what can they be useful for.
We're looking at the usefulness of waste. Mm-hmm. Yes, very important. Yeah. We'll take a break now and we'll be back.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan. Your community. Your radio station. This is Oxygen 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Wake up to calm, clarity, and connection. Start your day right. Morning light every morning on Oxygen FM 96.9. For every home, every heart, every morning. This is Morning Light, where families begin the day informed, inspired, and ignited. Stay with us. This is Morning Light on Oxygen FM 96.9, the Knowledge Hub in
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan. Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Breathe in the beat, breathe out the vibe. Oxygen FM keeps the city alive. Turn it up now, let the rhythm ignite. We breathe together.
Your community. Your radio station. This is Oxygen 96.9 Ibadan.
Can you handle this?
1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it up, cause it's getting heavy. And this how we gonna do it. So crazy right now. Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Welcome back. It's still Oxygen FM 96.9 and we are talking community parliament. We are looking at how we can improve ourselves, our communities. We are talking to you and I because the issues are issues for you and I.
Of course.
We are the people living in these communities
Right.
now. And for all you care, it is okay. The governor is not living here.
At-
The commissioner is not living here.
At
Are we
all.
not the people living there? Are we not the people driving
us,
around
of
here?
course.
We say government is not doing this. Government, yes, they have responsibility. We appointed them there to serve us. You understand? They are the chief servants of this state.
True.
But we have our responsibilities.
Of course we do.
We're still talking about trash. Shegun, your
And
thoughts?
I will sum it up here. Talking about as we masses, when the issue of accident happened at OJ, I think the government has been trying to tell all these people that okay, move away,
back.
move back from all these
Move
things.
back.
So looking at the bigger sense of these things, when the government come up with one policy, the when the consequence comes, it always comes on the masses mostly.
Definitely.
So I believe that okay, government said don't do this. Your waste should be kept this way. When the sickness come or the kind of viruses that come from all these things, the bigger effect is always
on us.
more on we the masses.
It's on us.
You know, the governor's wife doesn't have a store there.
No.
The governor's wife is actually more perfectly treated. So you know, we as the masses, we have to always put ourselves first.
Of course.
Like you know, the bigger picture is these things. Does it favor me? Like if it happens, will I be the one that will be it most? And you know, if you begin to put all these things into consideration, like okay, I don't have money to treat myself. You know, if they say okay, I'm diagnosed of, I have to like
Like they always
how
say,
many masses can just
prevention
is better than cure.
Of course.
You know, and how many masses can just cough out like 100,000 right now for a test?
No, how many people?
So when you begin to like okay, let me look into my pocket and you know if the sickness comes, I don't think I have all it takes to to treat myself.
Yeah.
So you know
So
we are actually
prevent it.
yes. You just try and prevent it. Managing our waste doesn't have to be something that will cost you that much.
You said something the other day that the governor cancelled the weekly environmental
Yes.
for daily environmental.
Yes.
With the impression that environmental sanitation should be a daily
done
thing.
every day.
Should be done every day.
day,
We
yeah.
shouldn't,
Very important.
we shouldn't decide that okay, it's only on Saturday.
weekends.
And so I will not sweep my room on
And
until
that has become
Saturday.
a tradition in the society.
You
We
understand?
always do the environmental on
Pile
Saturday.
everything up.
And do you know something? I've noticed over the years that is during when corn is in season. And you know, when corn is in season is during the rainy season. And there's a relationship between this corn, the shaft
Yes.
of
Yeah.
and
Of
then
these things.
when we finish, you know that
just throw it anywhere.
Carelessly.
throw it
Get to see it anywhere.
carelessly.
You see, I'm this kind of someone that believe in clean as you finish using everything you use.
Definitely.
You know,
Clean as you go.
You go to some home and the dishes they've used for a whole week, they just believe that okay, it is on Saturdays when we are free. That is when we're able to to take care of all these things.
Do you know?
There's some home
I
like
have
that.
a nephew. Do you know what he told me? He said, they are wasting water, we are wasting soap. Yes, Kuku, leave. The dishes we'll use in the morning. Let's leave it. We'll use the afternoon. We'll leave it. Maybe we have enough plates now. And then we'll wash everything at night.
But it still sums up to
we
the
will
same
be
thing.
saving water. We will be saving. I said, I knock him on the head. If you say that again, you understand?
He doesn't know better. We need to teach people. Some people just don't know better, actually. Like,
Exactly.
So maybe there needs to be a sort of,
Enlightenment.
teach people that these are the things that actually cause your diseases. Don't think is someone that caused you or something. It's because you are not clean. It's because you are not washing.
yeah.
I
Going
wouldn't say
far back.
I wouldn't say we're not enlightened. I would say that we're just ignorant. We don't care.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Just, we don't, because a lot of times I've seen people they do it. This enlightenment, they do it. People go on the
Do
street.
you know how many radio stations
Yes.
say this every
Of
day?
course.
They
Do you
go
know
on
how
the
many television
street,
stations show these things every
they
day?
say these things. They tell them clean your house.
People just
People don't care.
In
They
those
just want
days,
to
they
do
were
what.
wole.
Exactly.
How many homes will wole? How many even people do? How many staff? How many personnel does your state wole? How many do they have to be able to go to every street, every corner, and to no?
clean
You
it.
understand?
Just to buttress what she said, there was a time there Lassa fever was actually on the rise, and people were against to hear that okay, through this thing can be contacted through rats and all this, and Ebola, that okay, just try to stay away from monkeys and all these things. You will go online and begin to see people like okay, they will still be showing you videos of them like okay, this is what we eat and this is what we do. That's why that they know what can come out of all these things.
Definitely.
People will still try to just want to do this. Like I said, we have to prioritize ourselves.
Of course.
That is where the problem is. You just have to prioritize ourselves.
Priority to something.
Exactly.
Do you know there are still some homes in this Ibadan, this interior parts of Ibadan? There are no toilets.
Exactly.
They still
In
go
this
to
time
waterways
and
and streams and dust and dump sites to excrete
unfortunate.
to pass. You understand?
So unfortunate.
You pass through some areas and be like, are people actually
Living
living
here,
in this environment?
exactly. So
Are children being born and
this kind of
raised in these
environment?
communities? These are things we need to. The governor, the commissioners will not do this for us.
We'll do it ourselves.
We'll do it ourselves. And if Oyo State should take a cue from Ogun State by arresting,
People will sit tight. They will know what they are
who will
doing.
sit tight? Arrest one or two people, but who will catch them? Are there people positioned? Are there CCTV cameras positioned on our major roads, on our streets,
exactly.
to catch offenders?
Yeah.
How many personnel of Oyo State health care services that will be
they have
posted?
this?
You understand? These are little things that we need to put in place to ensure
You see,
that
something happened in my area a few months back. There was this house, they had this latrine pit, and it's actually becoming so, it's so
Messy.
bad. So I think I went to report at the office, local government office, that okay, something like this, and they came. For the fact that they knew that at some point they get to know that I was the one that actually reported them.
those people in the house,
In that area. For like a month, anytime I'm passing,
they will
they'll be like,
ostracize you.
that's the boy.
They did not even stone
That's him,
They are happy they didn't stone
And
you.
if there's any discussion like this, okay, ṣé ká tún ṣe nǹkan kẹ́tù lọ fẹjọ́ wa sùn wọlé.
Are
Ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn? At least, like I said, these people, it's like you said, that it's not that they are not enlightened at times.
They know what to do.
The ignorance is just there.
Yeah.
And the nonchalant attitude.
It's just we don't
Very
care.
nonchalant.
Like government, what can they do for
What
us?
they do?
There's nothing they can do. And they say it's me now. Ṣé ìjọba ló ń fún mi lówó tí màá fi are you giving money to do all these things?
They even feel like the government officials would not even see them, not to talk of arresting or doing anything towards
By
it.
the
So,
time they start arresting for waste offense,
Yes.
then we know we have to change.
But the other issue is when they begin arresting people, do we have enough
No.
large
Arrest
place
Arrest
to
will not lead to
being-
imprisonment.
okay.
There will be certain offense. Go to Lagos and drive against the traffic now.
Of course.
Yeah, I was
You will
about to
find
mention
yourself
that.
Yes.
in Yaba
those
left.
parks, they parked
You
you already,
understand?
and they get you arrested.
They will design. We should try to design, the offenses, what
Yeah.
the fines,
What-
the punishments
the punishment for
attached.
certain
You know, one thing that, like, you know, while I was in Lagos, there's this thing where you cannot cross some major roads unless
Yes, you
take
have to use the
pedestrian
overhead
bridge.
pedestrian
bridge.
bridge.
Yes.
And what they would do is they would just position people there. So once they catch you,
They will put
They
you.
don't-
There's a
those
car.
are
There's
the-
a
Yeah, there's a
vehicle.
van already.
There's a
There's
vehicle where
They
they'll
put
just
you
put you in
inside.
it. Just
Yes.
throw you inside
until
the
you
vehicle.
pay the fine.
Yes.
And like what that does is once they catch you once, twice, no worry,
You
will
know
not
now,
do it
you will
again.
reset
Again,
your brain.
exactly.
It will stop you from that bad habit of crossing
You
the
reset
road.
your
And I
brain.
feel like that's just what needs to happen here. They just need to make a few examples. Once people realize that,
Okay,
there's
if I
actually
do
consequence
this
for this.
For their action.
This thing
Yes.
I'm doing, and then they know that people are actually looking out to. It's
Yes,
not as
now.
if like, because also like people want to make money, like all these government officials that would be put in place. Who knows? Like maybe they will even look at it as something that maybe they can get some little bribe here and there for, and they will take the job very seriously. Is what I'm trying to say. I believe that
Yes.
they would be very passionate about this, trying to catch people who are throwing refuge indiscriminately.
Yes.
You see, when dealing with people in Ibadan, the dynamics of governance in Lagos and Ibadan is quite different.
Yes.
You know, every governor in Oyo State, whenever they want to do something that really affects the masses, they always, very a bit cautious, like it's because it always bounce back.
You listen to some
On their
governors saying,
election-
my people are poor. My
You
people
know,
are.
he knows they actually
they're
knows what to do.
Yes, they know what to do.
And exactly whatever they do, we actually tells on the result of the election, that coming election.
Well, the fine doesn't
does
have to
that
be too much.
make us not do
That-
what is
it
right?
doesn't.
Fine
It
doesn't have
doesn't.
to be too much. It's this.
It doesn't have to be
Ogun
too
State has
much,
given
really.
us an example of 14 days imprisonment,
Yes.
10,000 naira for bail. If you don't want to serve the time, 10,000 naira. Perhaps
I actually feel that
10,000
10,000
even if
naira
it's
is
2,000.
small.
It's small.
In fact,
But
you
I'm
can't
sorry
even
to
do
say, but I
community
feel it's
service.
But-
you don't have to
Yes,
do
that
prison. You can do community
community
service.
But you know,
service
most of
makes sense.
most of the people that actually perpetrate this kind of offense, there are people that can't even afford this 10,000.
That is why we'll make community service.
Service, yes.
Community service is
Yeah,
better. Okay,
it is
you will
actually
clean
better.
this road to this road for 1 week.
you won't do it again.
You won't do it again.
After that, you will learn that.
And there will be
there's
somebody
a
to
good
monitor
place.
whether
Exactly.
you're doing it.
Exactly.
Let's leave out money because people in this environment, yes, may not be able to afford it. And we don't have spaces in our in
Our
the
detentions,
prison.
there's
In
not
our
enough
detention,
space.
there's no space.
That detention will be so jam packed when we get to arrest people.
No, we can't do that. Let's go for the option of community service.
service,
Let's go for the option of cleaning our environment. You understand? Some of these
And
things
even
will
that
stop.
fine can still go. If you are arrested and your family member begins to look for 10,000 for you, when you are back, they will have to warn you. Before we get this 10,000 naira,
You know what we went
you know
through.
what we went through. If you should do this
In
again,
fact, it's not government that will be watching that person now. It's
the
if
family
you-
members.
Family.
If you try it again, like,
Oyolowa.
all right. That's the much we can take on this story right now. We'll be back for more stories on Community Parliament, Oxygen FM 96.9.
Broadcasting live and loud. Be informed, inspired, ignite. The Knowledge Hub. Oxygen FM 96.9. Okeado, Ibadan. Don't touch that down.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Breathe in the beat, breathe out the vibe. Oh, Oxygen FM keeps the city alive. Oh, turn it up now, let the rhythm ignite. We beat together.
Can you handle this?
1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it up, cause it's getting heavy. And this how we gonna do it. So crazy right now. Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Oxygen FM, every brain. Take a breath, let the music fly. Oxygen FM, we touch the sky.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Crank this up loud.
All the biggest hits.
Right here. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
All right, welcome back to Oxygen FM 96.9. This is still the Community Parliament, and we'll be talking about the Ogun State law, the people they arrested in Ogun State concerning the dumping of refuge on the road. And we really think that is a very good thing to do. It's actually good.
It's a way to go.
Yes, it's a way to go.
We need to replicate that in
Actually,
Oyo State.
we need to. Okay, we're going to be taking a look at another story. Lagos school to teach Yoruba with interactive board game. Yes, I like it.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, and it sounds like a new way and an exciting way to teach people our indigenous language.
Turn the table around on you, Floriana and
God.
DEBOLA, right now. Yes, because we're talking about Yoruba language, and you don't let me.
Should we read the story first?
Please
before
read
you
the story
come
before
for
I
us?
turn the table on you. Yes.
The Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board has launched a new partnership with Shikirabu Africa Limited to promote the teaching of the Yoruba language in public primary school through an interactive educational board game. And yes, we actually like the initiative. The initiative unveiled recently in Lagos introduces Shikirabu, a culturally themed learning game designed to improve pupils' understanding of Yoruba language, culture, and traditional values through play-based learning. And let me tell you, that's amazing. I love it.
Which is really, really amazing. That initiative is quite commendable. I love it because I am a supporter of indigenous languages. You see, most of the problems we have right now with pupils not, understanding what they are being taught in classes because, well, in my opinion, is because we are losing this Yoruba language thing. We are losing it. Our children can no longer speak Yoruba. Hey,
That's
Floriana. Hey,
so looks cold.
DEBOLA,
speak
please.
Yoruba.
I speak Yoruba too.
We'll turn this
What are you
program
talking
to Yoruba.
about?
I
What
speak-
are you
I
talking
speak
about?
Yoruba.
Please, do not even call out my name like that. I speak Yoruba fluently.
Are you fluent? What?
Woman saw Ede Yoruba.
Hey,
Ah,
Debola,
Stop
stop
it.
it. Stop it.
Kò sí ọ̀rọ̀
Why
tí
you
wọ́n sọ ní
proving-
Yorùbá tí mi ò lè sọ. So kí lẹ̀ ń try láti sọ fún mi báyìí. Exactly. That's what I thought.
Now, teaching English, mathematics, physics,
Science.
chemistry,
Yes.
science in Yoruba, I think it's going to be a lot fun.
Acceptable.
I think students will be able to understand it better.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they introduced the game elements because
Yes.
because for people who don't even have interest in it,
In
now
it.
that there's a game element to it, there's that interest naturally,
Yes.
and children would definitely like that. Even for me, English, one of the ways I was able to learn English the way I did was because I was introduced to English through cartoons. Watching all these cartoons makes it fun to learn. So I like the fact that they didn't just say, "Oh, we want to be teaching, schools subjects in Yoruba." They said,
Yoruba
there's
is
a
already a
game.
subject in school, so them making it into a game
you
is
know,
really creative.
My Yoruba teacher in secondary school used to teach us English with Yoruba. I'm telling you, I have seen that if you see someone who has a good command of Yoruba language,
Yeah.
that person
Yeah,
will be able
English
to
should be
speak
good.
English.
Yes.
My Yoruba teacher as well, she spoke fluent. Like her English was better than my English teacher actually. Yeah, like her pronunciation when she's
Imagine
speaking
the-
English,
And
she didn't used to play with
Imagine Ogbufo when you can translate those big words into Yoruba. I respect Yoruba teachers.
Actually, I do.
I respect them a lot.
They're always good.
You see, you have to look at the foundation of these whole issues. Our cultures, they are eroding already, and it all begins from our home. today look at so many family. When you ask what's the name,
I apologize for cutting you short. In my days in secondary school, we used to call Yoruba vernacular. Yeah, she's speaking in vernacular.
and when you speak, you pay or you get punished for it.
Yes.
Tough times,
My
tough
school
times.
too, they did that. If you speak any language
Yoruba,
except
we call
from
it
English,
vernacular.
you would pay a fine.
Hey.
So these things all begin from our home. Asking normal parents that what's the name of your son. They will tell you if you're not telling the name of your
Floriana.
Floriana, what do I have to be the example?
Floriana.
that one is still okay. There's now
Floriana
one
is
trend
okay.
that is going on among the Gen Z parents. They I think Adebola should know better. They will tell you the name of our child is Hazard. Player's name. You see, and they said something that when the foundation is actually destroyed,
Yes.
what can the righteous do? The problem is actually coming from the foundation already.
Yeah.
The home is supposed to be the first place where a child will
The
get
first socialization, the
ex-
first level in the
level.
socialization process.
The home is supposed to be the place. But now, that same home, many parents when they want to talk to their children, it's all in English.
Yes.
How many parents are actually speaking Yoruba to their parents?
yeah,
and
very true.
And even though if they should have a guest and your child is actually speaking Yoruba,
Yes.
You know what's interesting is I'm actually I have 3 elder siblings and then me, and I noticed much later, maybe when I was in my teenage years, that whenever my parents are speaking, if we're all together, they speak to everybody else in Yoruba, but when they are addressing me, they speak in English.
Little wonder.
And the interesting thing is it's not conscious. Perhaps because I've been wondering why did they do it. I've asked them. My mom said, "Oh, she doesn't know she does it. She was not aware that was happening."
It was probably the time you came. Times have changed.
No, but they spoke Yoruba. It's like imagine we're in a group like this. I'm speaking Yoruba to you, but as soon as I'm addressing Floriana, I'm speaking to her in English. And initially, it didn't even used to occur. I also would not notice that it was happening. Then one day I just realized, it's Yoruba that everybody's saying.
It clicked my tongue.
English.
So what I've now kind of concluded that may have happened was maybe they realized that I was not catching up. Maybe when they speak to me in Yoruba, I was not catching up. So they were just instead of stressing themselves.
Okay.
But to their credits, they still spoke Yoruba around the house, and I was still able to pick up one or two things from just hearing their conversation, their interactions. So like you said, it starts in the family.
It starts.
And even if you say that, oh, this child is struggling to, maybe I can't speak to him, he's not hearing me, just keep saying it anyway. I believe that they will still pick it up, because children learn from experience. They learn from what they see, what their parents are doing. So I can definitely see a parent saying, oh, if it's education is the school's responsibility. They're the ones that, why are we paying school fees?
Exactly.
And schools
lot
are
of
so expensive
parents
these
say
days.
that.
I can just say a parent just saying, I don't pay 1 million for this school
That's so
fees.
expensive now.
Please,
That's the thing. The
teaching
problem again
Yoruba,
is
I
the
cannot come home and
school.
still be teaching again after
The,
paying that much
the problem
money.
again is the school, because a lot of parents put in a lot of money in sending their children to school, and then in their own mind, to good schools, exactly, and in their own mind, what they think is, I can't be spending a lot of money sending my child to that school where I'm paying a lot, and they're coming home, they are not speaking exactly. They'll be thinking like,
what's going on?
you get
That's
it
another
in their mind. They're like,
concept.
come on, I'm paying a lot. You can't.
We are
Yeah.
getting it all wrong.
I feel that's what is
I think we are
affecting.
getting
Yeah,
it
we're
wrong.
getting it wrong.
You see, that's why you said it all started from the home. The foundation.
Actually, I had one experience when I was, I think my set was the first to write the GSS 3Y. Yes.
in your school.
No.
Never.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was my set.
Oh wow! That deserves a round of applause.
TOLU.
We're like the first people to stay at home.
Okay.
After our GS3 work. I was home in one of those days. And I was the only one at home. My dad quickly came from work. I didn't hear him. I'd locked the gate and he'd been knocking. I guess he trekked. He didn't bring his car. If he had brought his car, he would have, So he was knocking. I didn't hear. But by the time I got to here, I ran out. You know what I said? Tanton. I cannot remember. I cannot forget. Because he gave me a serious knock. He gave me a fantastic knock on my head. Can you imagine? Pẹ̀lú gbogbo owó tá tí mo ná lé lórí Tanton. You understand? And it was just the first thing that just came up. I was in boarding school.
Unconsciously,
We were
yes.
just home. You understand? And maybe I had forgotten myself. Maybe I was even reading a Yoruba novel. I cannot remember. But or maybe the what we used to do in boarding
Yes.
school.
Yeah,
you understand?
boarding
Like,
school,
the kind of slangs that we
Yes.
have. I forgot myself. Tanto. And then he gave me a big knock. And it's still in my head because I spoke Yoruba far. You understand?
You know,
You understand?
initiatives
He said,
like this.
pẹ̀lú gbogbo owó tí mo ta tí mo ná tanto òun ló fi dá tó bá pẹ́ kò kí n ṣe mí nǹkan tó bá pẹ́ lómi nǹkan
Yes.
they think we are not spending money
spending
on
a lot
you.
on you.
You now
You
say,
understand?
speaking Yoruba, they now see you more like you are.
I cannot
dull,
forget
Yeah.
because that knock was terrible.
Yeah.
You see, I think that is where the issue of enlightenment also come into place. I see at times you can't blame all these parents because of the global exposure.
Yeah.
You have to be able to blend with what is going on, and the
Yes.
global language acceptable is English language. But in the bigger sense is if you could be wide with our thinking, go to many of these European countries today, even the American, and look at how if you can speak Yoruba, look at how they will respect you so much if you are good with Yoruba. Just apply as a Yoruba lecturer there. You have them coming down here to learn Yoruba.
Learn Yoruba, yes.
So if you can just think, you can just be wide with our thoughts that this thing is actually not a taboo. Yoruba is not a taboo.
The
Yeah.
truth
And
is,
It's something that you can get money from.
Apart from getting money from, it forms the basis of our development.
Exactly.
Yes.
We cannot identify ourselves. It's like how do you prove to me you're Yoruba if you cannot speak
Yoruba.
You're not. Then you're not Yoruba.
Then you're not proud.
Then
You're not
it's like
proudly
the language
Yoruba.
is like the first
Your
thing.
identity.
Is the first. If you can't speak the language, then what of the culture? What of all the knowledge?
Because all these things are
imbibed-
embedded
Yes.
inside
Exactly.
the
And
language.
And we don't know the funnest part is, when we see a Yoruba man or Yoruba woman speaking Yoruba fluently, we begin to applaud.
Yes.
For what exactly?
Bare minimum.
So you are applauding
I
me for
am telling
speaking.
you.
I don't
Speaking my
understand.
language fluently.
Bare
They
minimum.
begin to applaud you.
we don't
Because-
appreciate our culture enough
Now,
because
I have
abroad.
a friend in Russia right now.
Yes.
The person went for a postgraduate course, PhD actually. Do you know the person we were just gisting, and he said, "Do you know that these people, they are luring him with money to do his program in Russian language. They are giving them it's a scholarship. They want to add more to this the money they are giving them.
So that we do
as
it in
so
Russian
that you
language.
do the
Just
PhD.
abandon your own culture
Culture.
and embrace
Imagine.
our own.
They are
They are
willing
promoting
to
their
offer
own.
money.
Exactly.
That knowledge that is offering them now, they want
They are
it to
willing
be
to
only-
offer him more
so
money.
it's only people that can speak Russian that would be able to get the knowledge that he is actually
Like
researching on.
my nephews,
They are promoting their
they
culture.
were raised in Republic of Benin. In their school, all their 14 subjects from GS1 to GSS3 before they came back to Nigeria, they did all their courses in English, and they will teach them again in French. I am telling you, they are so intelligent. Imagine a 14-year-old boy writing jump and scoring up above 350. That is what your local language can do.
Exactly.
They teach them all their subjects in English, and they teach them again in French.
But I think we should look into this as well. That this thing is the erosion of this culture is actually so much in Yoruba part.
Imagine
Yes.
teaching us.
You know-
Yes.
Typically you can be speaking
It's in
English to
Nigeria
Hausa.
generally.
Hausa,
And
few
you won't
Hausa
understand.
hardly understand English,
but they would.
but they understand their own language.
Yes,
Even
I
if
think
they
it's
are
I think it's Yoruba.
I think it's much in
even
Yoruba
if they
and
can
the
speak
Igbos.
English,
Yes.
their first medium of communication with you
Be the
is
Hausa.
their local language.
Exactly.
Even
Education.
when they can speak English.
We were educated with the Western.
Does
We've been,
education mean we should
Should
forget
forget
our
our
culture,
our
our language.
identity?
but that's how these things were introduced to us through imperialism, colonialism, and all those kinds of things. So that's why we had things like, don't speak vernacular. When we were all
Call
growing up.
our own
In our
vernacular.
own country, they said our language is vernacular. I know there's this song, that says, because of English, he got punished. His teacher flogged him because he asked for his biro in English. He said in his Igbo language, and the teacher said, no, you have to be, get caned. And all those kinds of things has taught us that our language is inferior somehow. So I like this initiative that this
Yes. Lagos State.
Commend them.
it's
Highly
very nice.
commendable.
Starting from the schools, letting the schools emphasize indigenous language. in such a way that now
be
people are
fun
actually
for people
interested.
to
Yeah, and
learn
I think
it.
most schools should do it.
And
Most schools
No,
should do
not
it.
just schools,
But
states.
another issue is this: how many Yoruba teachers are in schools? How many Igbo teachers are in
There's
schools?
usually just
How
one
many
Yoruba
people
teacher
are going into
for
the
entire
universities,
school.
into the colleges of education to study Yoruba,
Yoruba.
to study Igbo, to study languages?
Exactly.
That's true.
No little wonder federal government has removed education,
curriculum.
Yes.
to make education
Attractive.
If you are going into the university to study education and agriculture, you are not writing the UTME.
You tell me.
There's another, special
Exam.
kind of
Just to
entrance-
encourage more
just
people
to
to
encourage.
do it.
How many
It's
Yoruba
needed.
teachers do we have?
That's
How
true.
many Igbo? How many going to secondary school?
If I
They
remember
will tell
correctly.
you
In
there's
my
no
school,
Igbo.
it was just
You cannot-
in my school. In my secondary school, they didn't teach Igbo.
Can you
It was
imagine?
just Yoruba,
You-
and we
did
just
you-
had
did you
one
see-
Yoruba teacher.
Did you see that?
With a copper plus
Did
a
you
copper.
see that?
Me, I had one
the
Yoruba teacher.
entire
The
school.
entire school, GS1 to SS3. There was just one
In
Yoruba
my days,
teacher.
no, we still had like 4. We had for GSS, we had for.
No, my school was just one woman.
no.
Just,
We still had.
she taught every
But
class.
as soon as those people start retiring, nobody
Nobody to replace.
Nobody to
Nobody
replace
to
them.
replace.
I just have to comment.
Who wants to replace that? Is it the youth that are speaking?
You know,
You
just
guys-
imagine.
No.
Just imagine. You're a parent, and your word actually came on like, okay, I've obtained my jam form, and I'll be studying Yoruba. You just look at.
See, let's not lie.
You just look at. Just learn with what you are saying. So you see medicine, you see all these
that's
things. You
what
didn't go
it
for. So you want to go for Yoruba.
We are our problem.
Exactly.
I had
Still the
option
foundation.
of studying Yoruba in Lasso.
Did you? No.
It was later and I realized, why did I not do Yoruba? Yoruba would have given me access to so many other
But
things.
at that moment, you can't even present it at home that you want to study.
Yes.
You said you did Tanu and they scored you. Are you the one that will now go and tell that I was? That's why he said, it's actually
Yes.
boosting boys onto our own, to our
Yes,
foundation. The way the government is doing it, they are doing their own part. Our parents,
I
they
hope
have to
some
do their
some parents will not agree. Some parents will not sign their children up for this.
own. Exactly.
Of course.
They will be totally against it.
Yes.
And they said we should go to China, go to all these Korean countries.
They speak their language.
In classrooms.
Most of them don't even know how to speak English.
They don't.
They don't.
You know,
Majority.
the Chinese, the Korean, they
Not in
operate their
Korea,
phone
not in
in their language.
Philippines, all those
That's what they
countries.
do.
They teach in their local languages.
I have a brother in the UK, and few months he came on and we were discussing. I was like, and he called his daughter, and she was speaking Yoruba. And he said, me, I don't speak English to my children at home. Whenever they want to speak English, I knock them that shut up. I'm Yoruba. And me personally,
what he said is actually true. I'm sorry to cut you off. What he said is actually true. I noticed that most of our people that are not
Abroad,
abroad,
yeah.
their children, they
teaching
speak
their
Yoruba than
yes.
we.
Yes.
I feel they are
That's
more
bad.
conscious of it because in an environment.
they are second class citizens there, so they appreciate where they are
Coming from.
first class.
Exactly.
You understand? So they don't want to forget where they are coming from because
Of
you
course.
understand?
Exactly. And me personally, I have this kind of thing that I have it in my mind already. That whenever I start giving birth, regardless of as a woman, you want to influence the name you give to your child. And
Which name?
Like,
I've heard people call their children Fabregas.
I told you that Hazard now they call Hazard, they call Wakot. Me personally,
There was a time among my friends, Donald. I have a friend that I have friends
I
like
never
5,
really of
6
this name. They can't even explain.
who name their children Donald. I'm telling you.
You're not lying.
Some people, maybe because of the religious affiliation.
Exactly, too much.
There's a particular religious set of people who name their children after saints.
Yeah.
You understand? That is another motive. It may not. It has nothing to do with.
But you
Yoruba.
can have more than one. You can have a middle
yes,
name.
of course,
a
definitely
second
they'll
name.
have middle names.
I'm even trying to imagine going to a naming ceremony in this our day and age, and the person's list of names for their child. There's no Yoruba there. I feel it to be like.
There's this
There
prof
is
in my church. Whenever we are having baby dedications, and he looks through the list of the names, he will ask, "Where is the local name?" We go and put one Akonji. Don't you have Akonji Akole?
That Oriki. You don't have that Oriki.
In your Alao, in your own lineage. Are you not Yoruba? you're the son of Adebisi, and your child is not named Alao. I can
Yes, the Oriki. And look at the beauty in that
He's always
Oriki.
particular.
When you are
about-
sad or anything is happening, and parents that can
Do you have Oriki?
command it very well.
Floriana, do you have Oriki?
I have Oriki,
Please.
but I was given the Oriki not from birth, later on.
What's your Oriki?
Atoke.
Wow, very beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Debola, what's your Oriki? You don't know.
No, I don't know my
Wow.
Does DEBOLA
Segun,
count?
what's your Oriki?
My Oriki is Ishola.
Wow,
And
beautiful.
Look at the beauty
I
in all
won't
this.
say, I
names.
won't say
your
my
Oriki?
Oriki because
We
you
want to
say
hear.
no. I won't say it on air. Oh.
We want to hear
It's
it though.
Kong.
We want to know. We want
That's
to
why
know.
we want to
My
know it.
Oriki
Want
is
to see-
Ajin.
It's deep. Sincerely.
That's
Very,
Very
deep.
When my mommy when I'm angry and she
want to
she just call
energize
me
you,
that
know.
name. Oh my god!
Yes,
I just calm down.
I'm like, okay.
So there's that
Real
beauty.
love.
My
Real love.
my Oriki is very deep.
Very deep.
Very deep.
Gen Z cannot interpret.
They cannot
that.
understand
They
it.
can't understand. Yeah, Gen Z.
Oh
you
Lord, Gen
can't
Zs are-
sincerely,
are
you
going
can't
through
understand.
it.
You can't understand.
Even they are talking. What can you interpret?
Can you-
their
I
talking?
know what it means.
Oh, yeah, tell us.
I want
Wait,
to-
I know it oh. I know
want
it.
to hear.
I want
Tell
to
us
just we Ake when growing up we care for her. Wait,
It's okay.
like Ato,
okay.
If she has
like-
gotten that name
Ato,
from
okay.
birth,
Enna.
they would have been eulogizing her with
Yes.
that name. You would
But
have
she got
understand.
it later
You
on.
understand? We don't understand.
Atoke,
You don't
like,
understand.
oh,
You
please
understand?
now. But I got
She don't
it now.
You
Atoke,
understand?
I got.
You try.
I got.
You try.
So
If
know,
I should explain my own, it will take a whole day.
Oh,
it's deep.
Do you
actually.
know that? Have you seen people when they are weaving? Weaving mats.
Okay.
Weaving
Clothes.
Very
Debola's.
okay. The crochet, yeah.
Yes, there's something you wake up in the morning, you set to it meticulously, carefully. Aji, you understand? Something you weave carefully. You take your time,
Mold beautifully.
your heart.
Okay.
You understand to mold together.
It's hard not to be jealous, but
And you are
You
still
are
waking up
free to be.
very early to
Very
do this.
early in the morning.
You know.
It's something you wake up in the morning deliberately to do. Please, so
I try.
God took his time.
yes,
Okay.
something God took his time, and my parents, so they took their time.
That time.
So we just have to commend the Lagos State government.
Yes,
And
for
as
this
well,
initiative.
for this very very
want other
fantastic,
states
very
to
fantastic.
replicate it.
No, and I trust our governor. Whatever is good, he always try to embrace it. So we should commend him for
Yes,
that.
yes.
Someone that will embrace it, and as well as we are commending the governor, we should implore our parents as well.
Now,
Please.
let me come in
parents.
from this angle. Private schools, private schools, they still have this opportunity.
Yeah.
They are the owners of the schools,
Exactly.
and they can
Decide what-
decide.
What they want.
I think it should come. They
Down to
can
them
they
as
can
well.
easily adopt this thing.
Yes.
Because it is the private school that are guilty of this
Of
vernacular
course.
thing.
Of course.
Exactly.
In my son's school, teachers cannot speak Yoruba to parents, not even the students.
Students.
You cannot interact with parents.
In Yoruba.
What's the
In
motive
Yoruba,
behind something
I
like
tire.
that? What are they trying to prove?
I tire. Me, I always
In
even the
Ibadan,
head of
by the
school.
way. This school is in Ibadan.
Eka Roma.
And this school is
She
in
will
Ibadan.
answer me in good morning. I'll be like, sit down there.
Why are you
Then
trying to
ask
impress?
of her name. You'll be in a very deep Yoruba name.
Deep Yoruba
Now
name.
not speaking
Omo
grammar
Omo.
to me.
You understand? I think it boils down to not knowing, ignorance.
Yes.
It boils down to not knowing the eventual implication
Yes,
of these things.
And the
Yes.
advantage in knowing these things.
Advantage in teaching our children Yoruba.
So
In
what
fact,
advantage?
I have an idea. On our parent teacher association meeting,
You're going
we're
to
to
suggest-
raise it.
Yes.
We
let's-
start teaching our children Yoruba.
Yoruba,
It's needed.
no,
We need it.
exactly.
We need it.
It's really needed. It's
All
really
right,
needed.
it's still Oxygen FM 96.9, the program Community Parliament, where we discuss everything that has to do with you, with me, community, how we can do better in education and agriculture, in every sector. We'll be back after this break.
Okay, here we go.
Crank this up loud.
All the biggest hits.
Right here. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan. Your Your community. Your radio station.
This is Oxygen 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Welcome back to the Community Parliament on Oxygen FM 96.9.
The time is 9 o'clock, by the way.
Yes, it is. And I have this news story here. Something that is quite interesting, something that I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering about. Cocoa. Now, I remember there was a time when cocoa was actually like the biggest revenue making, industry in Nigeria. Before we discovered oil, cocoa was actually like the peak.
Yeah.
And
especially in the southwest.
Yeah, especially in the southwest. We have Cocoa House building that is still standing strong as one of the tallest, buildings in Africa till today. And so I have these updates now in the cocoa industry. So we recently found out that the global cocoa and chocolate market is projected to grow from $169.12 billion in 2025 to $245.97 billion by 2031, driven by the rising demand for dark chocolate and Europe's expanding market and a growing cocoa culture in Asia. Similarly, the global coffee market is expected to hit $482.2 billion by 2035 as coffee culture and ready-to-drink products gain popularity. There's also the issue of climate change pushing higher demand for heat-resistant coffee varieties, creating opportunities for African producers. However, despite all these booming global demands, many African cocoa and coffee farmers continue facing severe economic hardship. So now the issue here is how are we going to take advantage of this growing demand for cocoa in Africa, especially here in Nigeria. Yes, especially here in Nigeria, because cocoa is something that we produce and we can produce in large quantities and export.
I have questions.
All right.
How many people are still into cocoa production? Another thing is, how many farmers do we still have?
Farmers are if people that are farmers are even going through a lot these days. It's not.
See, the first question is how many farmers there are, and then the few there are, the stress they are going through.
Yes, that's why there are not that many anymore, I believe.
Yeah.
Because once you are doing something and you realize that people who are doing other things are doing better off, you want to stop it and switch.
Now, in those days, Shegun, have you been to Akoro?
No, I haven't.
Have you been to Akoro?
No,
Floriana?
I haven't.
DEBOLA, do you know where Akoro is?
No.
Akoro used to be. If you have been to Akoro, there are several cocoa plantations there. But still, it's still very little to what we are talking about. What is government doing to encourage cocoa farming? Are there still lands enough? Because most of these lands available, people are already living in all those areas now.
Yes.
You see people working at the secretariat here, living in Amuloko.
Sure.
We have turned everything to housing estates.
Yes.
They'll tell you there are an estate in Keniko. We have turned everywhere to housing estates. Nobody goes into cocoa production. Yet there's growing demand globally for cocoa. How do we go about it?
Years back, if you like today, most of the Gen Zs, the people that are hot cake in the market that ladies want to date now, doctors, lawyers. Back then, every woman wants to date a cocoa farmer because they always when the time they're always in money. People always want to date a cocoa farmer. As a parent self, there are times when they are all cocoa. They will actually pick their daughter. This is who you are getting married to.
When I was growing up, in our neighborhood, we have warehouses. We used to run on those cocoa. Actually, beside my dad's office, there's a cocoa warehouse, very big. One Alaji, the man is long gone now. A very big cocoa warehouse. We will run on those cocoa, heaps of cocoa and then palm kernel. That's the business the man was. We will climb to the top of that cocoa. We'll run down again. Cocoa in those days, nothing like that.
Children these days cannot relate.
Actually, everybody's going into technology and other things.
To be running in. There's no farm anywhere.
We would dig ourselves inside cocoa, inside the cocoa
Yeah.
heap of cocoa.
The most I have now is a garden in my backyard.
In my house, I think we actually have a garden. But the thing is, there is nobody. How do I put
To
this?
tend the garden.
Yes, because I feel if it were to be someone that cares for plants and all those things, that garden will be far gone.
You understand?
It will. There'll be a lot of things in it.
Of course.
My
Actually,
aunt.
I just promised Floriana. I will go to Nihot if they still are functioning
No,
to
Yeah.
buy some plants for us to plant
Yeah.
in that garden.
You can put me in that plan as well.
Please.
I went to, like Adebola has said it, that the foundations of this thing started from the discovery of oil in Nigeria.
Hey, but that should not.
You shouldn't
kill
exactly. You
what
shouldn't kill one
Especially
thing.
when
see,
oil
we
is
all
going through so
forgot
much these
cocoa.
days. Like, look at all what oil is now doing to us now. Oil is falling.
Dwindling, exactly.
Yes, OPEC is no longer as powerful as it used to be. All this America has come into.
Do we even
scatter.
have it? The ones we have, it's not ours.
Dangote is struggling. How many refineries have we built? We need to actually
The
invest
ones that we
more
have
in-
built are they are
Are they
comatose.
functioning? Yeah, they are not functioning. So maybe it's time for us to even look at cocoa and invest in that.
Yeah.
It's one thing to look at, like, oh, maybe farmers are not doing enough. If people who have money, if governments, if even private people who can invest decide to spend their money and invest in actually developing cocoa farms, I'm sure it will go a long way. Everyone is looking for what to invest their money in. Cocoa seems to, like, not even
Who are the
seems.
people
Cocoa
looking
is
for?
definitely.
You have that money.
No, people all over, like, wouldn't you say Nigerians are looking for things to invest in? Some people want to buy bonds, all those type of things. Some people have money in Nigeria now, and cocoa is clearly now a good and profitable thing to invest in, because the projections are looking good, and we're in this southwest in Ibadan. Cocoa is definitely booming. Our farmland is adaptable to cocoa. We can
Yes,
make
we
money
can.
from there.
We can.
Yeah, so
Shegun,
I think we will have to look into having leaders that can tap into what we have, rather than being myopic to a little way of generating revenue. Today, when you complain that these things are lacking in terms of infrastructural deficit in the country, the excuse the government will tell you that we are not generating much. The prices of oil are falling. But when we have someone that can think wider, and aside cocoa, there are a lot of things in
we'll
this
still
country.
go
We are so
sugar
blessed.
is there
You know-
because there's a news about sugar too.
Yes, we are
sugar
just
cane.
we are just so blessed in this country
Actually,
that
we're
we have a lot
so
of things to
blessed.
tap into that will generate wealth for us. We just have to implore our government, and talking about the farmers as well. Then the farmers, they always go. There's something they call. They always have their band, their odds in that farm. They will go for like 3
How many
months.
silos do we still have?
And now, how many farmers can just say, I want to
All
go
the
into
warehouses have been turned to shopping complexes.
exactly. So how many farmers can say, I want to go into a very deep forest because of cocoa? Before you come out, you have been kidnapped already by bandits. So the security challenges as well is actually
Is actually number one.
Yes, exactly.
Because most of these people, they are leaving the villages
Yes.
and coming into the
coming
city
to
centers.
cities.
But,
Yeah,
even it's one of these, for me now, looking at this security thing, I think it's one of those issues where they say which came first, is it the egg or the chicken? Because thinking about it, if we had farmers in this forest, perhaps there will be less bandits, because there's less places for them to hide in the forest. Because now we have people who are actually working in these
DEBOLA.
farmlands.
Now,
Understand?
we have farmers. If you said if there are farmers in these forests, there'll be less bandits. Now, the farmers are working with tools like cutlasses, with hoes, and these
bandits
are
with
with
guns.
AK-47. Like, so you still stay.
But
In
you
the
know,
face
but you know one thing is, all these farmers, we can't just take away the use of all these native powers. These people that are always going deep into this forest, they're always fortified.
How many
then
are they?
yes, not much. It's not that there is no security challenges then when it was, we have people that are coming to farms and and they were able to curtail these things to some extent. But like you said, there are some charm that you do that, there are some guns that you have to run away with your charm when you see
When you come face to face with some artillery,
Yes.
you will run.
you tell that child
Run, oh.
to make you
If I have
disappear.
this jam against gun and a bandit actually throw bomb, we won't I run away.
There is local Look, but how many are they?
It's actually
You
dying.
understand? It's dying.
Exactly.
These people, they do not have children to pass it on
pass it on to.
Look at what
Exactly.
when we talk about local herbs, most of the people who know these remedies,
Yes.
who have good, accurate knowledge of the local agbo remedies, they are dying. Nobody to
Nobody to
all
take
the
over
all
it.
these
They are
children.
not, the children
they want to
they are
do
not
Yahoo.
interested.
The
They
children
want to
just
do Yahoo.
want
They are
to go
not
into
interested.
the English
It's the same thing
medicine
that
and all.
happened. I'm sure it's the same thing that is happening to these hunters. No generation to pass the powers
onto.
onto, to
Exactly.
pass the knowledge onto. So why would bandits not take over the
thrive in
forest?
the country. Exactly. So you just have to government have to look into the issue of this security as well.
Yes.
It's actually so demoralizing the farmers to go into.
Look at what happened to Benue now. Look at the state.
It
at
is a
which-
farming state.
That's the food basket of
The
Nigeria.
Nigeria,
Exactly.
yes.
That's the food basket of Nigeria. Most of their children are here. They are doing security guards here. I know a pastor who is a missionary who people will be calling him from Benue, all those places. Come and help us take our children. Or before, even if they kill them, it's okay. But don't let them kill their sons. So they will transport all these boys down
Back
here
there.
to come and do security, to come and be doing Okada because they don't want to finish them off.
And you can see
in
the
the
impact
villages.
already. There's famine in the land. There's nothing. There's no food.
Food is expensive.
It's expensive.
Food is
You can-
expensive.
You can see the
Do
impact
you know
already.
how much tomato costs now?
No.
Somebody was complaining yesterday that Rodo tomato is very expensive. I said, well, this is where we have found ourselves.
Me as a bachelor, make I dey buy like a pepper of 3,000 before I can eat one. I don't understand.
As in for just
As
you,
a bachelor, me and
just
my
you.
brother, I don't understand though. What if I'm married? Like,
Don't
and
worry.
at some point I went to meet that woman. I said, yes, back. I was buying pepper of 300 naira from
We'll
you.
go and cultivate pepper in Floriana's garden.
yeah.
Please do.
So we'll move on to FTK's garden too. We start.
It's needed. I think
We need it.
we need to go into farming more. It's
We need
needed.
to go into farming. Apart from cocoa has this world appeal.
Look at Cocoa House
Demands
there.
are
Over
rising.
years, that building is still there.
Because of the
From
money
proceed
they
of
made.
cocoa.
You can imagine how much they were making back then. Now, I'm
Then.
sure, and they are saying the industry is growing. So
It's
that means
growing.
there
But we are not growing
potential
with
to
the,
make-
with the
No,
growth.
no,
Exactly.
we
We are
aren't.
not at par with that growth.
No,
we are left behind.
No, because our government is more focused now on
On
petroleum.
oil.
Yeah.
All the
Yes.
state government, they wait till end of the month to go to Abuja to go to the table so that they can share
Get
from the
something.
oil.
Oil,
And
yes.
the resources are dwindling. Your local revenue, we have abandoned.
Yeah,
We're not
it's so
encouraging our
sad.
people to go into all the lands that we're supposed to, give to farmers, encourage them, buy mechanized, turn into mechanized farming, and get farmers, put them there, make them comfortable. We are turning them to
and
housing
and
estates.
there's another thing we should look from the part of the government as well. Most of these things to turn this cocoa to money, you have to export it, and most of the policies, the exporting policies of the government today, are they really favorable?
It's still back to the government's table.
Government, are they really favorable to?
No,
to these
not
farmers?
favorable. But
You know-
if they are intentional,
Exactly, that's
if
it.
they are intentional, they will give us waivers for some of these
That's
things.
what I'm
they
saying.
will create waivers for some
Exactly.
of these things to encourage the people involved.
Exactly.
Especially knowing all the challenges that
Knowing
they're
the
facing.
challenges that
So
are on the table.
farmers definitely should be getting as much
Let me break
leeway
something
as they
down.
can.
You know, I'm a woman. I go to the market,
Yeah.
and I like to go to farmers' market early in the morning.
Yes.
I see people, these Egede people. They are in Erua, they are in all those
Of course.
inside
Where they can
inside.
practice agriculture.
Yes.
laws.
They bring their produce in the morning. They are vegetables, they are ewedu, okra, plantain, bananas. They bring them in the morning, early in the morning. They bring them to Bodija market. And the people in Bodija market, they buy it off them cheaply.
And sold.
And by the time, these people will still be there. And they'll be selling it
In their
times 3
Of the price.
of the price.
In front of them.
Right in front of them.
that's
This is what happened to onion. This is what happened to beans. Because in those days, the northerners, they will bring their trucks, the big trucks, down from, and then they load the trucks with onions and dump it at the feet of those of us here in the southwest, and right in their presence.
Get to
They
sell
see how,
higher.
don't you see?
Triple the-
They
course,
started selling their things themselves. The same thing happened to watermelon. Right now, a very small watermelon will cost as much as 3,000, 4,000.
Watermelon is gold.
In those days,
It's
watermelon
gold,
was
watermelon is gold.
watermelon used to
You
be,
mentioned Akron the other time. There was a time I went to visit one of my uncle in Akron. I bought a watermelon, big one for 15 naira. I'm serious.
Back in the days, like how
This
long?
like maybe like 3 years ago. I'm serious.
Really?
I'm serious. At around Akron.
you can still get that
I'm
in
serious.
that area. But in the city center, people used to say OJ is now big mass market because I go there
exactly.
regularly.
There was a time I traveled to Niger State, and then most of the people that are selling yams in Bodija, that's where they get their yam
Yes.
from. And I was like, let me buy yam.
Gold.
I bought yam of 5,000 naira, and I packed it with a big sack.
I'm
serious.
You know by one.
I brought it
yam
down
with
back
that.
to Ibadan with a big
Big
sack.
sack.
I'm telling
Jam
you.
of 5,000 naira.
I'm telling you, that is it.
When here
Now-
we're selling like one.
More like
maybe.
3,000.
No, I think the cost of fuel
Exactly.
has
Transporting,
added to it.
exactly.
Cost of
That's-
but it's still not what we are.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, how many people will travel to Niger now because
go and-
to go and buy?
To buy here.
You understand?
So the food.
Farmers are facing a
A
lot.
lot. A lot.
Transporting their produce
Exactly.
from the villages to the city centers is one issue. There are some villages, sorry, Shegun, that they only have one bus that comes from there
to the
and
town.
one
Yes.
that goes
That
back
goes back.
Exactly.
on a daily basis. Once you miss that, your tomatoes will spoil
Exactly.
until the next market day.
Can we blame too much of fertilizers for these things that are as part of the things that are happening to us? In the sense that I feel these days we buy foodstuffs, we buy things, and you just discover that these things are not good. It's not what it used to
be.
Yes, like before. The quantity, the quality, they are not as good as before. So I think we're in a hurry to just to
Cultivate
make
and-
profit. So we just
It still
pump
boils
everything,
down to-
fertilizer,
boils down to
everything.
the fact that farmers, they had to look for alternatives, of generating income. Because you see, farmers, they are the poorest.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They are the
very
poorest.
It's not supposed
And
to
also
be so.
Which is not
usually
supposed to
also
be.
most hardworking too.
They are the most hardworking, yet they are the poorest.
There's this Yoruba saying that I say Agbeloba. I think gone are
Not
those
anymore.
gone are those days. Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
And from this aspect, I want us to commend the governor of Oyo State. When he came on board, he was actually talking about connecting the roads across Okiogun. Okiogun is actually the food basket of Oyo State.
To the capital.
So that transporting their product will be actually easy for them.
More
And
convenient.
he actually did something like that. Actually, we should commend him on that. What about the security issue again? We can see the news we're hearing on.
The security in this Okiogun has been there for long.
Exactly.
Has been there for long, but they deal with it, on local. They still believe in their local olodes,
Yes.
and which they are still trying.
Yes.
But right now they are going to another level
Terrorism is
because they
becoming
live with
global.
them in the communities. They already see their strengths. They
Yes.
already see
Yes.
their weaknesses.
Government
They've
needs to
seen that
intervene.
government, the security officials' presence
Before
over
they can
there
get
They don't really,
there.
they don't really care.
Minimal.
minimal, very minimal, so they can operate. Imagine those guys who went to those communities in Ogbomoso. They
Yes,
saw
they
them.
know them, of course.
Like we always say, this is see finish.
Yes.
Of course.
They saw them finish and they're like,
Because-
okay,
So
we can.
we can
Easy
attack.
target.
Me, I was actually
So
thinking that when the issue of Chibok actually happened then, sorry to divert a bit. I was actually thinking that, because to kidnap like 260 something students, you are not coming with one bus. No, it's
Like
not like
convoy.
it's not like a convoy.
It's a convoy, actually.
How
convoy.
how did something like this actually happen? Transporting 200 students.
Audacity.
Where are they passing through? Are there no security
And they
to stop
went
them?
missing. Like they were just missed. I did not
Till
add this
today.
to hide 200 people.
They just disappeared.
How?
Like no trace.
They've actually
nothing.
taken their time to understand the terrain, the
Do you
timing
understand what I
of when
said
the
yesterday,
security.
Shegun? I said what's happening now, what's playing out now. It's just I can just replicate it to what happened in 2014. You understand?
Yes.
As soon as that person declared his intention,
Yes.
we
was
saw
issue.
that. And as soon as we had another intention,
Intention.
something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
Politicians, please.
Politicking.
Just like Gowon, former president Yakubu Gowon said yesterday,
Yeah.
we should de-emphasize this politics of
Do or die.
do or die politics.
Yes.
Too much
And
money.
on top of it, we are playing with the lives of children.
Children too much.
This is
Our
just
future.
a replication of 2014. We should just de-emphasize it. Please, we are begging. For the sake of the lives of these children, we are still praying that they come out safe, they come out healthy, nothing happens to them. And we should do something about it.
So I think our government, they are listening to us this morning.
I hope so.
We've highlighted a lot of solutions for them. In terms of security, look into it, waivers for our farmers. A lot of solutions have been provided this morning.
The main issue about agriculture is security.
Yeah. So our government, we are calling on you this morning. DEBOLA has spoken. Has spoken.
We have all
We have
spoken.
all spoken this morning. Look into security and the waivers. Make this thing encouraged.
Before we wrap up this session, let's look at the issue of sugar cane. The news said that the executive secretary of the National Sugar Development Council, Mr. Kamal Bakrin, said Nigeria's sugar sector can generate about 1 million jobs across its value chain.
Oh my God.
He made this remark during a strategic meeting between the council and the Nigeria Customs Service at the custom headquarters in Abuja. He said a fully developed sugar industry could transform rural communities, strengthen industrialization, and check insecurity through large-scale employment opportunity for the youth.
Nigeria, we know how to quote figures and statistics very well. Sincerely, this man that actually said this, that actually gave us these statistics and all that. Now let him have the opportunity to be at the ends of affairs.
He is actually the head of something.
I'm talking about in a place where you can make decisions that will affect
lawmaker.
this. Yeah, maybe like president or a governor. This man will actually do otherwise. We've seen them in this country. There's I don't want to mention him. He was actually the former leader of the Labour Congress. And when this man had the opportunity to be at the chamber, we all know what happened. The story changed. What?
Narrative changed.
Everything changed.
I think that's typical of politicians.
Is it just we keep blaming? I'm just saying we are just saying politicians, but I think will I say it's just Nigerians?
No, it's
not.
politicians.
I think it's about governance. I always tell people somebody can be a fantastic politician and be a bad and
be bad in governance.
And bad in governance.
I think you have the example.
There are two different things.
We have the example in this country.
There are two different things. Politics is
and
different
governance.
from governance.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, we have seen fantastic politicians becoming president and they cannot perform.
Yes.
Of course.
Because they are two different things.
True.
Governance is totally different from politics. If you go into governance thinking you play politics, it will backfire.
Of course.
And it is backfiring. We can
Sure.
see.
Yeah, of course.
It's backfiring.
Of course, now we can see.
So there's something about governance that you and I cannot understand. I have this blueprint. This is what I want to do in office. By the time I get there, something else happens.
Of course.
We do the opposite of the blueprint. Because I don't know, is it that there are spirits?
As you're saying this now, a tweet of someone was actually coming to my head years back. What this man was actually tweeting regarding security. And this man, when he had the opportunity, it has been defense from from one minister, from one person to aside quoting statistics, let's talk reality. We are just tired of giving us figures. We can do this. We can do this.
We should actually.
We should actually do the do.
Yes.
Enough of talking and giving us realistic statistics and figures. Talk to the people that can effect this change. And these people that can effect this change, they know themselves. Let them do the needful. Let them do the needful. Enough of focusing on fuel alone and oil alone. We are so blessed in this country.
So blessed.
You're not talking about sugarcane here. You know what sugarcane can do? Of course. Let's tap into all this thing. Enough of quoting stuff.
But
we know this already. We want actions.
Since he's not even in the position to actually implement this law now, but he has highlighted it for whoever can.
But he's working for someone, right?
No.
But whoever
he has the power
to do it.
So
why are they just
he's the executive secretary? But
what's keeping him from doing it?
It's a step. He's just coming out to say it.
So
he needs federal government's backing.
Okay.
You understand? Sometimes they say when there's a will, there's a way. Most times, the Nigerian government there is will, but there is no way.
I think there is
That's-
way
that's
at times
true.
they just
Or there
chose.
is no will. Maybe there is a way.
There's a way.
But there's no
Because
will.
this morning you actually
I think that is
highlighted a lot
our
of
own
way for them
case.
this
Yeah.
morning.
But there is no will.
But you know,
There's no
that's it.
will, no will at all.
They are not ready. That's it.
They don't seem to
Somebody
care.
actually said that right now, everything we are saying, we are just talking to ourselves. Because all their priority right now is 2027.
27.
2027. They are not even trying.
But
Unlike
if they
before-
actually
okay.
want to make it in 2027, they should listen to us.
See, that's
They
exactly
should
what
listen
I
to
wanted
us.
to say. Before they will actually
And then
listen,
just
do what we want.
eh,
But
and
now
then we
They
get
don't
us.
care.
Okay.
They don't care anymore, sincerely.
And I think I want to even maybe use this junction to remind people to get their voters cards, because these
our
are the
power.
things. Yeah, that's the only way we can actually, these things that we are saying. Oh,
Not
this
5,000 naira and
this
Ankara.
person can do this person can do that. What
With a
we
cup of
can do
rice.
is to
With a cup
choose
of rice.
our
No.
leaders. Yes,
And we have the opportunity. That it is our responsibility to choose our leaders.
Of course.
We are in a rice regime.
We have
That's
the
right.
power to choose
Everything is
who we
rice.
want.
Yes.
So why are we not doing it? Why are the minority intimidating the
You know,
majority?
and at some point-
the reverse is supposed to be the
You know,
case.
at some point, I was like, the true definition of democracy, perhaps it has been changed because
For
you know,
Nigeria.
yeah, of course, no, because it's
It's
supposed
our
to be
interpretation of
the
it.
government of the people, for the people, and by
By
the
the
people.
people.
No. Government of the people, by the people,
For-
and for the
for the
people.
people.
But unfortunately, it has reversed to what you just
Exactly.
said.
You know, it has changed. Like, what's going on?
Yes.
It's now government of selected numbers of people.
some people.
Lording it over the
Exact-
vast
I don't
majority.
understand because something like this in this century is not something we should be discussing already.
Yeah.
If you have like leaders that they actually knows,
The willpower
You know,
to
I
do
mean,
what is
you
right.
know
can't
that
tap into
Nigerians
it.
need jobs. You've seen that this is a way to
And they
create
said
jobs.
They know
it can
these things,
actually
oh.
sugar production can give us 1 million jobs,
Jobs.
especially in rural communities.
They
Well,
know
like,
this thing, but I
You
don't
would think
know.
that that's the easiest, like it's something that is the no-brainer, as they call it. Like you've seen the solution to a big problem
Just
that we have.
implement it.
Do you get?
That's
Not
not
that you
the
now be
problem.
coming to tell the whole world that, oh look,
And
this is
if we can get to the young people in rural communities, I saw a movie, Brothers in the Line of Fire by Kiefer Sutherland. He was the lead character there. You know Kiefer Sutherland now? Jack Bauer in 24 hours. Yes. Terrorists went into this particular home. They already tied up the guy who owns the plantation.
Yeah.
Now, they now found this servant, one of the slaves, is a black guy. They now took the guy. They promised they were going to free him if we locate, because the owner of the farm and his family, they were hiding somewhere. And all the other workers on that farm, on that plantation, they refused to tell them where the guy and his family was hiding.
Hiding.
But this boy, they promised him heaven and earth. Took him there, took the terrorists there. They killed the guy and his family and killed the guy. This is exactly what is happening to young people in rural communities. When these strangers come, they promise them heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Just take us to where,
This thing out.
take us, give us a...
where the natural resources.
Yes, give us how we can get into your villages.
Yeah.
Because they are not working.
Yeah.
Because they said the idle hand is the devil's workshop.
Well, even if they don't kill them, they give them the tiniest change. You can just give him 50, like 15 naira.
I'm
Sell
telling
your
you.
entire birthright.
I'm telling you,
Sell
that
your
is what
entire
is happening.
How did
Because
Nigerians?
how did you
how
get here?
Yes.
How did you get here?
Yes.
It's poverty.
It's poverty.
Look at, they are coming into city centers through the rural areas
Exactly.
because they know there's and there's an obvious neglect of the rural areas. There's poverty in the rural areas. So they'll give them little peanuts. Take us. Do you want to tell me that this? Don't let's go there because I
I
don't have
think it's
evidence.
both poverty and ignorance. I'm always blaming ignorance.
Ignorance
Yes,
is not
because
it's not an
I feel
excuse in law.
I just feel like if they are
Leave
enlightened,
ignorance.
okay,
Leave ignorance.
we should leave ignorance.
It's poverty. You know the right. You know what is right sometimes now. But when you are hungry, when you are hungry, the person said, "Go and kill your father," and you are hungry. See the scenario I just narrated now.
Yeah.
That movie I saw.
Yes.
The guy they promised him freedom. They promised they were going to take him to America. They promised they were going to, release his family. Unfortunately, they killed everybody. They killed him.
I think ignorance actually stayed there You know, it's another thing to tell you something like deep down inside this fire. It's another thing for you to use your own initiative. To,
but somebody a poverty stricken.
Yes, it's
does not go to school.
You know the issue of ignorance. One thing that makes banditry not to have thrived in the southwest still goes down to the fact that
we are enlightened.
We are enlightened compared to where the side is thriving right now. Whatever they tell them, go this way, that is where they go. I think
despite our enlightenment, they still invaded our villages.
Yes, they are still trying. You know, it would have been more worse than it is right now. And when you're talking about the issue of poverty, you know, I actually tied a goat now, and I've been tying the goat for a very long time. I didn't give the goat anything to eat, and it's actually tied down. And you know, at some point I want to lose the goat, and I want to give him something to eat, and the goat can see that this thing is actually poisoned. You know, but for that goat has been starved. He might actually not have a choice than to eat it. Yeah. Exactly what is actually happening to us right now. You know, we've tasted these people, and we see what they can offer us, and it's actually below standard. Yet, when they come again, we still rush down, you know, to vote for them.
Dangle,
you know,
peanuts.
Just look at what is going on.
I relate.
You've been starved for a very long time. You know, you don't have all it takes. You know, someone that they come to your home now, you have like 3 children and you haven't eaten anything, and a politician just come and offering you like 5,000 naira. You know that this 5,000 naira, you will use it and pay loan of 5 billion naira. You know, at that point you just want to survive. Yeah. Just want to take it. Just survive. So the government, they are intentionally empowering poverty. Because it is going to be a tool. The only way they can be empowered.
Benefit from
it is not a tool. It is now becoming a tool for them to use when elections come.
We'll take a break now and we'll be back for more.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Wake up to calm, clarity, and connection. Start your day right. Morning light every morning on Oxygen FM 96.9. For every home, every heart, every morning, this is Morning Light, where families begin the day informed, inspired, and ignited. Stay with us. This is Morning Light on Oxygen FM 96.9, the knowledge hub of
What's up, Ibadan? It's time to kickstart your hustle. Tune into Oxygen FM 96.9. Monday through Saturday between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Ignition Lab, where we give you updates on how to live soft life with smart hustle. Ignition Lab, where young people's thoughts are welcome. Don't sleep on it.
ìròyìn ìdárayá ní Oxygen FM 96.9 ibùdó ìmọ̀ tí ó máa wá sí etí ìgbọ́ wa ní dédé agogo 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ sí agogo 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ láti ọjọ́ Monday ọjọ́ Ajé títí di ọjọ́ Friday ọjọ́ Jímọ̀. Ìròyìn ìdánilárayá ó yẹ jẹ́ àtẹ́tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ kájọ máa gbọ́.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
All right, welcome back. This is to the Community Parliament on Oxygen FM 96.9. So we're going to be taking a look at the comments on our socials. This comment is from Facebook. Amalara Shoderu says, the government can't continue doing everything now. They are not here with us, so we should do something ourselves. Yes, we actually agree with that. Ajao Tosi Samuel says, our nation will be free one day. Amen.
Amen. And I agree with the earlier comment too. It's true. It's everybody's responsibility. Whichever way you notice that you can actually improve, our community, rural areas, or even just your own neighboring surroundings. We talked about waste management. Let's do better on that. Also, this farming thing that we mentioned. Let's be more conscious of it. Floriana, I know you've promised to take up farming.
I'll try.
We look forward to that.
I will.
I'll support her.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that, me personally.
Yeah.
Let's take this entertainment story here. we have here Wizkid becomes the first African to hit 1 billion Spotify streams. Congratulations to Wizkid. The Afrobeat singer, popularly known as Wizkid, has set a new record as the first African artist to surpass 1 billion total streams on Spotify across all credits. And I know there's that song One Dance featuring Drake, or Drake featured him on One Dance, and that till today is Drake's biggest song. And Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world.
I really like the way we are winning in our music industry. Like it's something we have to win in something, and in music we are doing that. Entertainment, yes, we are doing that.
I like that. No matter how sad the country might seem, politics,
there's something that would
entertainers they consistently deliver. Yeah. Even if it's the movie industry, music industry, arts industry, they stay. And the thing about Nigerians is we always find ways to keep ourselves entertained, happy, in spite of all of the traumatic situations.
Yes. You know one thing other countries don't like about us?
What's that?
The very thing that tears some countries apart is the very thing that keeps us together. Crisis, we come together.
Yeah.
Look at prayers are going on in the traditional circle, in the Islamic, in the Christian. You understand? The things that ordinarily another country they would have gone onto the streets and protested and then killed each other. Those are the things that will bring us together as a people. Other countries, some people don't like it about us
at all.
They don't like it about
people
us.
Say we're too happy or we're too relaxed.
We turn every disappointment
into
an advantage.
Yes.
You don't be surprised. Somebody will come up with a song about this kidnap. You come up with a song and then it will become a hit.
Yes.
And we love to dance. Shout out Nigerians. We always come up with a new dance step. Shaku shaku.
Oh Lord.
Everything. And these things always go viral. Like other countries want to be like us.
I know you're familiar with
cartoons. Are you sure about that?
You're familiar with cartoons?
Yes, I am.
Do you know this children cartoon, Bluey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this song when they're opening, they say, Mom,
yes.
Dad. This is a song. The dance. The father is also.
It's true. Everybody's just copying us.
You understand?
And we don't complain.
That cartoon is it's a Canadian production.
It's Canadian.
It's Canadian production.
Canadian.
So we are just wonderful people.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and our entertainment is doing so well. I
have
this.
You wanted to say something?
Okay, I think far away from we should just drift apart from the troubles we are facing in the country.
Yes.
Nigeria, we are just so blessed, sincerely, and we just have to appreciate this. We have a lot of Nigerians flying the flags of the country very high.
Yes.
And one of them is Wizkid. The videos and the likes. They are really flying the flags of the country so high, and it's not even an entertainment alone. Go globally. Most of
in
all
sports,
these thriving nations. And look at people that are dominating in those countries. You will see a little bit of Nigerian in there.
Yeah.
So we are just so blessed in this country, and
medicine,
the only thing is
different fields.
Yeah, of course, in different fields. We are really thriving. The issue is just how we can manage ourselves very well.
I mean, if you've dealt with Nigeria, if you can make it in Nigeria, they say you can make it anywhere in the world.
One boxer actually said it. This I've forgotten his name.
How was that guy's name?
The guy with dreads. It's trending sometime.
Is it Anthony Joshua?
No.
The boxer, okay.
I'll remember his name.
But it's true, Nigeria teaches you to persevere.
He said it was his experience in Nigeria that actually gave him the wherewithal to thrive out there.
Exactly.
Look at us dealing with bandits in our own local government now. Like you've dealt with those kind of traumatic experiences. You've learned that you can actually overcome them. Yeah, you can overcome them with perseverance. You can make music to express the pain and all of those things. You can channel your struggle into something that will be productive for you, and it's actually doing well for us. It's doing well for us. Look at this. In another entertainment news, we have Wizkid, Asake, Tems, Burna Boy have been nominated for the 2026 BET Awards. All of these Nigerian artists have actually earned nominations and potentially could win.
They actually deserve it because they put in the work.
A lot of work.
They've been dropping amazing songs, breaking records, billboards everywhere, chart numbers.
Very soon, Nigeria would win best country in the world.
Let's hope so.
I'm patiently waiting for that.
The most resilient country in the world.
Yes.
Despite challenges. We're still standing.
We're still standing. Oh my God.
And we even have a good track record at the BET Awards. Wizkid is actually the most decorated winner in Africa. Wizkid is the African artist with the most BET Awards. And Burna Boy has also consistently been claiming the international category. Davido, Tems, Tubaba, Ice Prince, D'banj, Arasta have all won these awards in previous years. So shout out to Nigeria, making us proud. Even in the acting scenes, we have Ayo Edebiri, who also got nominated for the BET Awards. And Damson Idris, if you can believe it, is Nigerian.
He's Nigerian. He ran away. I don't know why.
Yes, but we still claim him. He also got a BET Award.
He won't deny.
Of course he won't. He says it on all his award shows. He
says
he claims Nigeria.
So shout out Nigerian entertainers. Let's keep doing us proud. Let's keep creating those bangers that would win us awards. Shout out to Wizkid and shout out to everyone else that also got nominated.
Floriana, you have something?
No.
Okay, we'll take a break now. We'll be back.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
When the day goes down, the stress fades. We turn the sound up, the music takes over. Hot gist that has the internet buzzing. Laughs that melt the day away.
This is the Drive Time Show. Music? Check. Entertainment news? Check. Gist? Double check.
On Oxygen FM 96.9.
Wake up to calm, clarity, and connection. Start your day right. Morning light every morning on Oxygen FM 96.9. For every home, every heart, every morning, this is Morning Light, where families begin the day informed, inspired, and ignited. Stay with us. This is Morning Light on Oxygen FM 96.9, the Knowledge Hub.
Are you ready to take control of your money and build the financial future you deserve? Yes. Join Akin Ade every Monday at 10 a.m. on Oxygen FM 96.9 for the program Money Sense, the Wealth Reset Series, reimagining money habits for financial clarity, discipline, and freedom. You'll be guided step by step from understanding why money problem persists to rewriting your mindset, building financial stability, growing your income, planning for retirement, and leaving a final legacy and leaving a lasting legacy. Tune in for calm, for relatable
Wake up to calm, clarity, and connection. Start your day right. Morning Light every morning on Oxygen FM 96.9. For every home, every heart, every morning, this is Morning Light, where families begin the day informed, inspired, and ignited. Stay with us. This is Morning Light on Oxygen FM 96.9, the Knowledge Hub.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
When the day goes down, the stress fades. We turn the sound up, the music takes over. Hot gist that has the internet buzzing. Laughs that melt the day away.
This is the Drive Time Show. Music? Check. Entertainment news? Check. Gist? Double check.
On Oxygen FM 96.9.
Your community. Your radio station. This is Oxygen 96.9 Ibadan.
Got talents?
Got voice?
Love drama?
Love storytelling?
Then this is your moment.
Join the Oxygen FM drama group today.
Auditions now open. For more information, call 0704 100 7969. Oxygen FM 96.9. Inform, inspire, ignite.
Breathe in the beat, breathe out the vibe. Oxygen FM.
What's up, Ibadan? It's time to kickstart your hustle. Tune into Oxygen FM 96.9, Monday through Saturday, between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Ignition Lab, where we give you updates on how to live soft life with smart hustle. Ignition Lab, where young people's thoughts are welcome. Don't sleep on it.
Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o, ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi, ètò tí ó máa wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìsinmi Sunday ní dédé agogo 1 ọ̀sán sí agogo 2 ọ̀sán ní Oxygen FM 96.9. Ètò ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi láti máa dúpẹ́ tí a sì máa mọ rírì orí Ọlọ́run tó ń fún wa ní ìsinmi ayọ̀. Gbogbo ènìyàn ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ nínú ètò ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o, ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ètò tó tún gbòde o. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ètò tó máa já wa sí ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbègbè àti nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ lẹ́tọ̀ yìí o. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ Oxygen FM 96.9. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́bọ̀. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ láago 8 sáago 9 àṣálẹ́. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ àwọn ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbègbè yìí. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ètò fún gbogbo ará ìlú ni. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ẹ̀kan ti gbé sí wa létí sẹ́. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ ojú òpópónà tí ò dára tó. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ àwọn tó ń dalẹ̀ sójú gọ́tà. Jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
The Mailman, a message from you waiting in your future.
You can send your stories via our WhatsApp number 0704 1007 969 or simply walk in and drop your message at the Knowledge Hub, Okeado, Ibadan.
The Mailman,
Oxygen FM 96.9, Okeado, Ibadan.
Feel the pulse, the energy flows. As the beat drops, the excitement grows. Deep inhale, let the rhythm take flight. Oxygen FM shining so bright. Echoes of knowledge fill the air. Tune in now, let go of your care. From the Knowledge Hub, we bring the sound, inspiring minds where passion is found. You are breathing, feel the vibe. Oxygen FM, come join the tribe. 96.9, we're here to ignite your passion for knowledge. Shining so bright. Breathing deep, let the music play. Oxygen FM, lighting your way. In every note, there's a story to tell. Tune in now, let your spirit swell. Broadcasting live from Okeado's heart. Every beat a work of art. Inform, inspire, we aim to please. With every track, feel the energy increase. In the waves of sound, we find our place. Together we rise in this vibrant space. Knowledge flows like a river wide. At Oxygen FM, let your dreams fly. You are breathing, feel the vibe. Oxygen FM, come join the tribe. 96.9, world here. Oxygen FM. We bring the cheer. With every frequency, we break the mold. A journey of wisdom waiting to unfold. You are breathing, feel the vibe. Oxygen FM, come join the tribe. 90.9, we're here tonight. Your passion for knowledge, shining so bright.
This is Oxygen FM 96.9, and yes, you're still on to the Community Parliament, where we talk about issues, matters that affect you and I. I mean, we've had a lot to say on the show, but yes, we're not done yet. We still have one more story to take before we call it a day for...
This is one matter that actually affects me personally. Arsenal, after 22 years of waiting, have finally lifted their 14th English Premier League title. Yes, my friends have already been calling my number personally. Group chats have been buzzing. You know, all those group chats.
They're hitting you up like, Debola, what's happening?
Very good mood for
people are celebrating.
For a couple of hours, I'm
people are in celebrating mood. In fact, if you know any Arsenal fan, build them. Yeah, in a good
Debola,
mood.
Ask them for money.
Debola, I'm in your DM.
Are you an Arsenal fan? I'm not an Arsenal fan.
I thought you were.
I'm not though. They're just stressing me. Arsenal fans.
I thought you were an
They've
Arsenal.
been through a lot.
You don't mind them. They don't stand for Arsenal.
They will not. No, it's
because
not.
they know they can disappoint at
Can you
any point in
imagine?
time.
No, I used to be an Arsenal fan back when Kano was there, but after Kano left, I started to look for another club to support.
So you're not devoted.
But yeah, Arsenal have finally been crowned the Premier League.
Yeah, they are sharing in the jubilation.
Exactly. See, they came in happy.
To be fair, I'm happy for them. You know, it's been a long time coming. You know, and you know, to win it in the way that they have, actually, they've worked really hard. You know, in the past 3 years, they've been really close. You know, coming second runner up. Just not being able to quite get there. They call them the professional butlers, but this time they did not bottle it. They actually were able to win the trophy.
Happy for them.
I am happy for them for sure. They won it after Man City were unable to secure the win over Bournemouth yesterday. Man City drew Bournemouth 1-1, and in fact they almost lost that game. You know, it took Alan to actually equalize to make it 1-1, but that draw was not enough to secure a win or secure them, you know, continue to contest for the trophy. Arsenal finally have the league.
I think we have to say congratulations to Arsenal this morning, most especially the Nigerian fans. You know, I think they'll be free from banters for a couple of years now. They will be free from the banter because
some people will actually throw parties. You know, Nigerians.
No, of course,
they will.
That one is standard. That one is standard.
You know, but we have to, you know, commend
the weekend
them.
Starts now.
You know, of course.
Yeah, for some people the weekend is starting.
May God help you.
So, you know, we just have to comment from the coaching crew to the players. It's actually a show of resilience, you know, because at some point, you know, like they always say, blow. It was becoming blurry. It was blurry at some point.
Usually, you know, that's typical of
us.
And
you know, everyone was actually beginning to think that, okay, are these people, are they going to bottle this thing again? You know,
they were jinxed for a while.
Oh no, of course. So you know, for a couple of years, and we have to
22 years old.
Comment at the board. You know, I think one of the boards that actually have, you know, it's a long goal. You know,
they changed their field. They bought a new stadium.
They still nothing still happened.
They bought a new stadium and they still did not win it.
You know, but
suffer.
But you know, aside all this, you know, we should commend their resilience, the board. I think they are patient enough with the coach. You know, for the past 7 years, winning just one. You know, I think Enzo Maresca in Chelsea within like few months he actually won like 2 trophies.
And
you know,
they still sacked him.
And I believe as a man, Arteta was actually to be a Chelsea coach. You know,
I will not last.
Should have gone. So we just have to, you know, commend their resilience and
they believed in him.
You know, and I think it is their time. You know, we should allow them.
They should enjoy
it, of course.
Enjoy it while it's
Premier League is not easy.
Of course, it's not.
It's not easy. They did, you know, they fought for what they for this title that they have.
Of course,
this might be the hardest fought, you know, Premier League title actually.
You know, so they actually fought for this, and you know, they actually deserve everything they're enjoying right now.
And before you get carried away with this Arsenal win, it's about time we say thank you for joining us on the program this morning. Community Parliament on Oxygen FM 96.9.
Always a pleasure.
Always
so
a
much.
pleasure. Always a pleasure. And we're so glad Shegun joined us on the program this morning. We would have been short one.
Yes, thank you, Shegun, for joining us.
Thank you, Shegun.
It is my pleasure to be here.
To see Shegun again on Friday or next week.
No. powerful
we'll be glad.
escape,
Don't worry. We'll be glad anytime you have the time. All right, my name is.
It's a home already.
Wow, you're
welcome
welcome.
home.
You're welcome.
That's
Welcome
oxygen
home.
for you. Oxygen
Welcome
for
home.
everybody.
Yeah, because there is life now.
Exactly.
You can breathe in the air.
Exactly. It's enough to go around.
It's enough to share.
Yeah.
Share it. We are not stingy people.
Yeah.
My name is Tolu Adekwaju. By God's grace, we'll be back here tomorrow taking a look at our stories. Thank you to those people who contributed via the Facebook. We expect you to call us, but most times the phone lines are usually very busy. But still try. The numbers are still the same. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
Thank you so much for joining us. And this is still Oxygen FM, the only radio station that promises to keep you informed, inspired, and ignited. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
All right, my name is Floriana, and yes, keep